Hello, let's say I'm 1 year old. Everything to me is mine. Mine, mine, mine. Now I'm 5 years old. My parents say to share. Split the cookie in half, Norah. Now I'm 10 years old and I get to keep some things for myself and share others. I have to do both now. I like my stuff, but I know how to share. People start out in life as takers and are taught by others how to give. We are eventually expected to know how and when to do both. Giving and taking is like Harry Potter and Voldemort. Harry is a good guy, a giver. Voldemort is a bad guy, a taker. This is how most people think about giving and taking, but it's not that simple. Consequences can be good and bad for givers and takers. An anonymous source once said, "Stop planting flowers in people's yards who aren't going to water them." This is an example of these negative consequences. The giver's actions aren't being appreciated, and the taker doesn't appreciate what they have. The giver and the taker are both unhappy in this situation. If the giver and the taker were instead matchers, people who could balance giving and taking, their consequences would be more positive. Another quote about the subject of being a giver or a taker is one by Irma Kurtz. She says, "Givers need to set limits because takers rarely do." This means that This means that both givers and takers need to think about how much they give and how much they take. Givers need to set limits so they don't give all they got. Takers need to set limits because otherwise there would be nothing left to take. If a giver and a taker both set limits, they're a couple steps closer to being a matcher. Givers are constantly giving. The thing is, if they give everything, they take away from themselves and their families. In the book, the giving tree gave so much that it gave itself away. At the end of the story, the tree finally realized it was unhappy because there was nothing left. If you do not set a limit as a giver, you become nothing. Another quote is, "Don't play the victim in the circumstances you created." This means that your actions can create circumstances you do not want to be in. For me, this really makes me think about the taker in life. If you think about the giving tree story, this is a perfect example. The boy, or the taker in the story, took a lot more than anyone should take from another person. At the end of the story, he was sorrowful. The only thing left was the stump of the tree. He sat down on the stump and realized he could not take back what he did. Ultimately, he realized he was responsible for the circumstances he created in life. His selfishness led to sorrow. How do you find a balance between them both? A matcher finds a balance between both giving and taking. It is interesting to think about how different the giving tree story would have been had the little boy decided to be a matcher instead of just a taker. The old man would have still had the tree and his best friend. It is difficult to be a matcher. I think a lot of people are horrible matchers when it comes to love. We are going to compliment and constantly love others and give love to others. But how many people are walking around in this world not loving themselves? I think this lack of self-love can lead to being a taker too. How do you learn to love others but also love yourself with the right intentions? Well, you have to simply compliment yourself, be yourself, find your passions and your strengths. Whether you're a giver, taker, or a matcher, you are not necessarily going to be happy in every situation. Although in my opinion, one will be seen in more positive light than the others. That one is a matcher. Thank you all for your time and have a lovely evening.